pins and what do you call it? The yeah that the players had on their helmets, and that we wore the pins for the Taps families, decals. Yeah, sorry, decals and pins. Always, good to participate in that. Recognition of the service men and women who have given their lives for our country. So, from mainly from this area, and so it's something that we've done for a number of years, and players and coaches have all been very active and willing participants, and just want to take a moment to recognize the families and the losses that they've suffered, and how much we appreciate the people who defend our freedom, and who have given their lives as part of that defense. So, forgot to mention that last night.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yep.
We'll open up for questions. We'll start with Mike Reese, followed by Chris Mason.
Great. Bill, Kyle Duggar was out there quite a bit in the game last night, and the stat sheet shows him with 12 tackles. How much did the film reflect, that number, when you watched it over again?
Yeah, that sounds about right. He was involved in quite a few plays. I thought he pursued well, tackled well, and gave us some perimeter run force, which was a big part of the game. A lot of the game was the running game was directed towards the perimeter and the outside. So he definitely helped us there, and we got some good interior play as well on some of the inside plays, and maybe that helped push the ball out a little bit. I don't know.
Next question, Chris Mason, followed by Zach Cox.
Hey, Bill. Last night was the fifth straight game that J.C. Jackson's had an interception. I'm just wondering what stands out to you about his ability to play the ball in the air.
Yeah, he has a real good knack for finding the ball. Several of those plays, he didn't see the ball thrown, and he turned and located it. And obviously, he has good hands and quick hands, and the ability to locate and catch the ball without seeing it all the way in. So. Not all of his interceptions came that way, but those are the hard ones for a defensive player when they turn late and have to find the ball, and not only locate it to break up the pass, but just then to be able to take it another step further and make a clean catch. Those are tough plays, but he does an excellent job of that, and has very good ball awareness.
Is that something that can be coached, or is that a little natural ability there too?
Well, yeah, we definitely work on it, but that's sure. I think some guys have more just natural hand-eye coordination and the ability to do that than others, and he's made a number of plays, for us, through the years like that, just finding the ball, locating it late, and then being able to intercept it. But no, we definitely work on that. We work on our back to the ball, and playing the ball with proper technique, and when to look for it, and we do look for it, try to look and locate it. But yeah, some players have a more natural skill on that than others, but we definitely try to improve it and work on it, and keep it sharp.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next question, Zach Cox, followed by Doug Kyde.
Hey, Bill. The broadcast last night shared a stat that Devin McCourty has played more defensive snaps since 2010 than anybody in the NFL. I believe it's been 5 or 6 years since he's missed a game. With all the moving parts that you guys have had on defense this year and over the last couple of years. How beneficial is it to have a guy in Devin that you can basically rely on to be there every game and play almost every snap?
Yeah, it's incredibly, it's incredibly reliable. He's incredibly reliable, and it's, defensively, well, and I mean, anything in the game you'd like to have consistently, but, for that position, the free safety position that handles so much communication, formation adjustments, and decision making back there, kind of the quarterback into the secondary, if you will. That's a critical role, and not only has Devin have great durability and consistency in his play back there, but his ability to handle those game plan adjustments quickly and decisively is it's a big help to our defense, no question about it.
Next question, Doug Hyde, followed by Megan O'Brien.
Bill, Mike mentioned Kyle Duggar's contributions, but you guys also got contributions out of other rookies as well. I know it's been a unique season with a unique off season, but are you seeing the rookies, get a little bit more acclimated now midway through the season?
Well, sure. I think, yeah. I mean, when we started the season, those were really like preseason games for them. I mean, it was their first action in the NFL. So, yeah, we're ways past that, and I think there's certainly been some growth, but we have a long way to go, and we'll see how those players can, what kind of progress they can make over the second half of the season, and what opportunities they get, whether they're earned or whether they're through necessity, if we have injuries at positions and so forth, and we'll see what they're able to do with those opportunities. So.
Next question, Megan O'Brien, followed by Chris Ryan.
Hey, Bill, last night when you were asked about those guys up front, Dietrich Wise, Lawrence Guy, Carl Davis, and the way that they were able to slow the Ravens down in the running game. Carl Davis, a guy who's been beat up since he arrived. What have you noticed from him just about when he's been available and been able to make an impact out on the field, and how he's transitioned from since he's got here?
Yeah, Carl transitioned well when he's been on the field. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, he missed a little bit of time there, but he has some experience, and I think some of the techniques that we use are similar to what what he's played in the past, whether it be in college or in the NFL. And Lawrence played with him at Baltimore, so I know he's helped him some in the adjustment and acclimation period. But yeah, Carl's been a guy that we've been has been able to give us some depth at a position that we've needed it, and hopefully we can build on the last couple of weeks here going forward, and see how that all works with the with the defensive line rotation and their playing roles and so forth. But he's definitely helped us the last couple of weeks.
Next question, Chris Ryan, followed by Mike Reese.
Good afternoon, Bill. What I ask you about the offensive line? In watching the game last night, obviously they looked phenomenal. They were able to get to the next level and made a lot of precision blocks, etc. What did you see from the film in regards to their play, and how big of a part of the success of your offense are they at this point?
Well, I think our offensive line and running backs have, the time that they've been able to work together, both in practice and in games, has given an element of timing and consistency that is good to have in the running game. The timing of the blocks and the, having a feel for, how the back runs and the back how the line, the pulling and the timing and the timing of the space of the holes and so forth, especially on some of those outside plays where there are crack blocks involved, and some of the trap blocking inside as well. So The more you can do those things and practice them and get comfortable with them, you know, Rex and Damian have both been able to, develop some consistency there with, again, more continuity on the offensive line than we had earlier at times in the season. We've been able to get the same 5 guys out there on a more frequent basis here recently, and with the running backs and the tight end with Ryan and the fullback Yak. So those are good things. The more you can work together, the better chance you have for having timing and also making adjustments when things happen a little bit differently from play to play based on what the defense does. Then everybody gets more confident and can maintain their aggressiveness because they have done it before and know what to do and are confident in doing it. And so that leads to some good downhill runs, and Damian certainly did a nice job of moving the pile and breaking tackles and running aggressively and when there is an opening. So he's maximized a lot of those plays.
And just briefly, 2 of your bigger contributors last night were undrafted players in Jakobi, Meyers, as well as J.C. Jackson. When you're bringing in a player, is there something that you look for specifically in their skill set to know that they can kind of contribute in that lane and you can break them off from there? When you're going to make a decision to have one of those guys stick with you, what are you looking for in them?
Well, the process of acquiring those players is usually pretty competitive after the draft. So each team has a limited number of roster spots to fill. Usually, call it a couple players at each position. A couple receivers, a couple offensive linemen, a couple defensive linemen, a couple defensive backs, and so forth. And so, you try to target the players that you feel would have a chance to compete on your team based on the skill set. But again, you're in competition with with other teams on those players. After the draft, so a lot of times it comes down to a combination of factors. The financial offer, opportunity, what else you have on your roster, how much the player or agent feels like you're the right fit for his client, or that player feels like the team is the right fit for his skills and so forth. So. Again, we try to target the best players that we can. Some of those we get. Sometimes we get, our second or third choice, if depending on where those players end up going, because those are negotiated guys, not draft choices where you select them and they have to go where they're picked. So it's like I said, a very competitive process after the draft. Try to do the best we can to identify the players that we think will fit into our program. And again, sometimes that's maybe not, initially, thinking undrafted players going to come in and, make a big impact right off the bat that's not why you're signing them. If you felt that way about the player, you probably would draft them. But you usually feel like, over a period of time, if the player can, develop his skills, gain some experience, and you have an opportunity to work with him, that maybe he can improve to be a roster player and be a contributor from there. So that's usually how it works out. Usually those players, takes a little time for them to either gain the experience, or sometimes with the lineman strength and sometimes it comes from some physical development as well, before those guys are really in a position to challenge. But Jakobi's a smart player that has worked hard and really has taken done a good job of taking the opportunities that he's had and also adapting his skills as a receiver and his size inside the slot to a level where he's been pretty consistently productive over the last year and a half when he's played. So it's real credit to him and his work ethic.
Thanks, Bill.
I
Sure,
apologize for those I don't get to, but we'll make Mike Reese the final question. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Bill, when you guys took the turn into the fourth quarter last night, up 23-17, the way that fourth quarter unfolded, How much did the game strategy for you sort of shift even more toward field position? I don't know how much the weather conditions were part of that, or just the way the game unfolded, and how much it was Jake Bailey, and just his ability to execute what he needed to do, significant in the way that whole quarter really unfolded.
Yeah, Jake did a great job for us. As he has all year, his ball handling on both punts and field goals. I know you're asking about punts here because there weren't any field goals in the fourth quarter, but his ball handling in those situations and certainly challenging conditions last night, and his ability to change field position with length and hang time and ball placement to give our gunners a chance to get down there really eliminated the returns last night. So he does an excellent job and has done a great job for us all year, last year and a half really, in all those areas. And you're right. I think as the elements last night deteriorated, as it got windier and the rain increased and so forth, field position was certainly more important. And just trying to go on a long field and in that situations, it's hard anyway, but it's harder. Was harder in the conditions that the game ended up in.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Great, thank you.
Head to Dunkin' for the snacking menu. America runs on Dunkin'.
In New England, we are resilient. It takes hard work to earn respect. Sometimes it takes decades. And it always takes someone being on your side.
Ready or not.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
Head to Dunkin' for the snacking menu. America runs on Dunkin'.
In New England, we are resilient. It takes hard work to earn respect.